and welcome back. Well, let's take a deeper look at the rules so you're convinced that you can use GASB 62 or ASC 980 in preparing your financial statements. So Rule 1 is that your utility must be regulated and have an independent party approving your rates. So think of your own situation. You have a city council, board of directors, state regulatory commission, all of those count towards using GASB 62. If they approve your rates, you're in. Next, the costs represent past expenditures. So an event must have happened in the past, say a storm, other post-employment benefits, other deferred costs, things like that have happened in the past, and now you want to recover those costs in rates over a period of time. And to do that, you must have oversight board approval. So in other words, you have to bring a resolution to your board of directors, to your city council that says, we would like to apply GASB 62 or ASC 980 treatment to this particular transaction. And you must have an exit plan. In other words, an exit plan is how many years of recovery of the cost or recognition of the revenue you would like to do. In other words, you can't say, well, we had a storm and someday we're going to recover this in customer rates. No, it has to be a defined period of time that you recover those costs in your rates. And so if the board says yes, and you go down the road a few years and now they say no, they're trying to keep rates down and whatnot, now you have what's called an impairment, and the event must be recognized immediately through your financial statements. In other words, you have to reverse the GASB 62 treatment that you did. And you might say, well, isn't that cooking the books a little bit? Well, some people might say that, but really what I would say is that it's a great tool to use to match your intent of rate recovery with expenses and revenues in your financials to get around the treatment that you are required to do by regular accounting standards and match it to your rates. And there's more rules that you can use, but blah blah blah. You can all use it. So let's get going and check it out, how you can apply it practically to your own situation. So again, we like to call this the intent standard. You pick an event. What did you intend to happen? You set a time frame for recovery of the cost or recognition of the revenue. You get board approval for the treatment and you include it in the revenue requirement. That last item is key. If you are going to recover something in rates, a cost that happened in the past, you have to increase rates now to match that intent and intended recovery of that. And some potential uses for GASB 62 on the expense side and the revenue side. I've been talking about storm damage. You can use it for major maintenance, mark-to-market adjustments, plant decommissioning, losses on advance refunding, other post-employment benefits. If you have distributed energy generation and budget misses, you can do it there. On the revenue side, you can use it to establish rate stabilization, grants, contributions in aid of construction, and we'll have some good examples coming up so you can see exactly how this works. But here's an example from Nevada Power, which is an investor-owned utility, and you see the word regulatory highlighted here. Regulatory really just means using GASB 62, or in this case ASC 980. And you can see all the things that they use this for here in the left. And the weighted average recovery and remaining life is the exit strategy. So how many years of recovery they have, and what the expense is that they are recognizing in their rates each year. So this is the expenditure side. Sorry for the hopping around there a little bit. We'll keep going here. On the revenue side, they have deferred income taxes, cost to removal, impact fees, others. Here's the exit strategy right there, and the amount of revenue that they recognize in their financial statements because of these transactions. So I thought the best way to do this is to say take a year in the life of a public power utility. In other words, you start off the year with hope, a great budget, great expectations for the futures, a lot of good plans, strategy implementation, things like that. And then real life happens, real life gets in the way. Well, GASB 62, ASC 980 are designed to help you cope with some of that and not lose the hope that you had when the year started. So, every year is unique. You never have one year like the other, hence the unique term. Changes in budgets and priorities happen during the year. Sometimes you have changes in board members or staff, which requires an education period, and maybe a board member with a different philosophy about rate deferral and rate increases and things like that. And unpredictability is definitely the norm. So let's take the walk. Let's go through a year. We might see a few things pop up, but let's see how GASB 62 can help us get our way through them and navigate pretty well throughout the year. You'll be surprised and you'll be amazed at how easily this works. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in a minute.